Hello and welcome. This is the news on NTA International. I am Frama Hanyi. My sign language interpreter is Precious Ozomena. We begin the news with the headlines. Federal government inaugurates National Road Safety Advisory Council. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu celebrates girl child and advocates gender access and equality in education. In Africa, experts in agronomy and extension services meet in Abuja to boost food production, especially in rural communities. And now the news in details. The federal government has inaugurated the National Road Safety Advisory Council with a charge on members to align with global best practices in reducing road crashes. Vice President Shetima at the inauguration emphasized the critical nature of road safety, stating road safety is not merely a matter of policy, but a critical part of the lifeline that connects the people of this nation. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
Consolidating a robust strategy to address the nation's road traffic challenges in its relatively short existence, the establishment of the National Road Safety Advisory Council aligns with the recommendations from the World Bank Country Capacity Review, which identified areas for improvement in Nigeria's road traffic administration and safety management. And at this inauguration, Vice President Kashim Shetima urged the Federal Road Safety Co. to embrace these recommendations as a catalyst for the much-needed reforms in this sector, commending the seamless coordination between the federal and state executives as well as various government agencies, saying the spirit of unity exemplifies the essence of working together for the common good.
The inauguration of the members of this advisory council today is not merely a call to refine operational strategies. It also highlights the urgent need to address the increasing number of road traffic crashes caused by non-adherence to traffic regulations. More importantly, it reflects the readiness and cooperation of the esteemed members we are inaugurating today. This initiative will undoubtedly be of tremendous benefit to the motoring environment and the country at large.
The Co-Marshal, Sheikh Mohammed, who is also the Secretary of the Advisory Council, said the inauguration of the body opens a new vista in road safety management in Nigeria, fast-tracking the implementation of the Nigeria Road Safety Strategy, which is the country's response to the call for safe use of the road.
Nigeria is expect more of road traffic crashes reduction, more of intervention when crashes occur, more of visibility of road safety men on the road, and more of engagement, advocacy, public education, sensitization, and enlightenment of the general public on how to use the proper use of the road.
With this inauguration, we will have a lot of funding, a lot of technology will be put in place in terms of traffic violation, and of course, we expect much from the service.
I must commend the President for the rapt attention to provide transport for our citizens. You know, transport is one of the most essential variables that Nigerians need to watch. And most of our youths are on road. If the roads are safe by a Road Safety Commission, I think it's going to be good for us. May God.
The inauguration of the council underscores the commitment of the Tinubu administration in safeguarding the lives of citizens on the roads, as the implementation provides a clear direction towards achieving the vision for road safety using the globally accepted safe system approach. From the State House, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
Now, the federal government has introduced a new direct purchase model for premium motor spirit, that is petrol, allowing petroleum product marketers to buy directly from local refineries. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, who confirmed this in a statement on Friday, says the move marks a significant shift from the previous arrangement where the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation was the sole purchaser and distributor of PMS. This direct purchasing mechanism allows marketers to negotiate commercial terms directly with the refineries, fostering a more competitive market environment and enabling a smoother supply chain for petroleum products. Edun said, with the commencement of local PMS production, the market is better equipped to support this direct transaction and is expected to enhance efficiency in product availability and stabilize market conditions for benefit of all Nigerians. He said the implementation of Committee on the Sales of Crude Oil and Refined Products in Naira, which he chairs, acknowledges concerns and discussions surrounding the market structure change and is committed to providing clarity and engaging with stakeholders to ensure a seamless transition process. In Zamfara, State Governor Dauda Lawal has commended the efforts of the federal government and security agencies for the current successes recorded in the fight against insecurity in the state. The governor was speaking after an audience with Vice President Kashim Shettima at the presidential villa.
The reality is that the insecurity in Zamfara State has been there for the past 12 years. And as responsible government also, it is something we're tackling head on. We're doing the best that we can to make sure we secure lives and properties of our people. And it's an ongoing process, and it will continue until we get to the end of this banditry issue in Zamfara and invariably Nigeria as a nation. I'm sure you're aware that within the last 1 month, most of the major bandit leaders were neutralized. So that is significant progress, and it's an ongoing process. We'll continue.
The governor also briefed State House correspondents on efforts of the state government in the educational development, especially promoting the girl child.
We are at disadvantage in terms of girls' child education, and that is why we are giving it the top priority. If you look at the gifted children that I think about last month, you saw that Zamfara came second after Anambra, and majority of those were girls. That means also we're making significant progress in that area, and it will continue.
Now, every girl should be able to dream of a future where she can grow without limits. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, stated this is a message to celebrate this year's International Day of the Girl Child. She notes that the theme for the celebration, Girls' Vision for the Future, is very apt and calls for more investment in education, starting from the home, where girls will be taught to believe in themselves and the values of self-worth and dignity, thereby equipping them with the confidence to face the future. The First Lady says, with the right support, resources and opportunities, the potential of the world's more than 1.1 billion girls would know no bounds. This way, the girl will be able to make informed choices about her health and well-being, she adds, while noting that as a nation, Nigeria has come a long way in ensuring education for the girl child. The First Lady, however, laments that too many girls are still denied their rights, restricting their choices and limiting their future. She saluted the girl child in Nigeria, charging them to be strong, confident, and determined in their resolve to push for the limitless opportunities that abound. The future is promising, she says, while asking them to keep hope alive and nurture their dreams. Now, the International Day of the Girl Child, marked every October 11, provides a global platform to reflect on the pressing issues facing girls today, recognize their rights, and address the unique challenges they encounter. This year's theme, Girls' Vision for the Future, calls attention to the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of young girls everywhere. Nyeri John tells us more.
They stand tall, young, vibrant, and full of life. But beneath their smiles, they carry fears and face obstacles many cannot see.
Imagine myself being a co-wife of somebody as old as my mom is actually a problem that we're facing in Nigeria today.
The welfare of mine and the security and safety of other girls in this country.
Some girls out there hawking
Some want to go to school, but it's just that due to some conditions they don't.
To bring these challenges to the forefront and promote girls' empowerment, the United Nations General Assembly on December 19, 2011, officially declared October 11 as the International Day of the Girl Child. In Abuja, the Forever Girl Child Initiative brought young girls, educators, and community leaders together at the American spaces to inspire and ignite the vision of future female leaders.
We get to focus on creating an environment where those dreams can thrive and succeed, where girls have the tools, the resources, and the support they need to shape their own futures.
Some people might want to tell you you are dull, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too whatever. But I want you to tell yourself and anyone you come in contact with is that you're a graceful person.
The event was a melting pot of ideas where girls were encouraged to dream boldly and claim their space in society.
A girl is a nation. When you empower a girl, a nation or a community is empowered in totality.
As Nigeria joins the global celebration, one thing is certain. With the right support, resources, and opportunities, the potential of the world's 1.1 billion girls is limitless. These girls are not just dreaming. They are shaping the future, one step at a time. In Abuja, Henry John, NTA.
And joining us via Zoom to speak more on the issues surrounding the girl child is the National Coordinator, Child Protection Network Nigeria, Olakunle Sonyi. You're welcome to the news on NTA International.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Right.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Now, what is your assessment of gender equality and access to education in Nigeria?
That was, I didn't get that clearly.
Okay, I'll take that. I said, what is your assessment on gender equality and access to education, Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you very much. The level of the gender equality as it is in Nigeria at the moment is still poor, even though we have improved from where we used to be. The country has improved, but we still have a long way to go. We still have situations whereby girls are still subjected to modern slavery, even within the family, where girls are still looked at as being inferior to boys. But like I said, the situation is getting better, but we are not where we need to be or where we have to be able to say, yes, we have equal opportunities for girls or for girls and boys. We're not at that stage where we can say, where we can beat our chest and say the girls are having opportunities like they should to be able to live a better life like their male counterparts. We very much know that many of those girls in this society are still, many of them are still subjected to situation whereby when they get pregnant, for example, the boys continue to go to school while the girls continue to carry the pregnancy, and in many communities they subject the girls to go ahead and marry. And even when the girl becomes a wife, the girls continue. The man still, or the boy still continues with his or her living, while the lady is now made to become a teenage mother who will now be subjected to carrying out tasks that are beyond her age limit.
Right.
So we're still very far off.
Now, today is the International Day for the Girl Child. Now, this day has been set aside with an intention. What is the intention, for this day? Can you tell Nigerians?
Yes, today's intention is to, like we've always done, mostly, is to bring the vision of girls to reality, to make sure that the girls also, like boys, also have vision, they have goals, they have aspirations, and the society, the entire society should work together to support girls to achieve these goals. We've seen to also identify girls who are now ladies or women who have been able to break all barriers to fulfill their dreams. So this year is trying to let us understand that girls can also become leaders, and not just first ladies. They can become the first man in the country, and that is the first citizen in the country.
Yeah.
You know, if we all support and rally around the girls.
Okay.
So this year's vision is to bring. This year's focus is to bring the vision of girls to reality.
Okay. Now, this year's theme is Girls' Vision for the Future. How can we achieve this?
Yeah, at the background of this is to enhance opportunities for girls to be able to have access to education. Education is, as we know, is the bedrock for even boys who have opportunities. It is because they are given access to education, and they have unlimited knowledge about the globe around the world, and they can easily tap into opportunities. So when girls are given this opportunity as well, and there is no limitation as regards what level they can get to in terms of education, as regards the family not relinquishing them or putting them at the background, then the girls will be able, the vision for the future will become achieved. But if we still have situations whereby many of our girls are still back somewhere hidden away in the homes, either as domestic workers, or maybe they are somewhere as money wives, they are somewhere as exchange, as commodity to be exchanged, used as commodity to be exchanged for the benefit of men and other categories of people in the society that we will not be able to achieve. So at the top of it is to ensure that we give girls equal access to education. We have to go the extra mile to ensure that this is done, and then we place priority by supporting families, enhancing, being intentional about it,
Right.
to ensure that families take priority, for girls as well, just like they do with their boys.
Mr. Olakunle Soni, thank you so much for joining us on the news on NTA International.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Right, we'll pause here, take a short break. We will be back with more news. Welcome back. Now, rising sea levels have threatened Senegal's coastal town of Bani. Experts say the disappearance of the town is most likely in a few years' time if nothing is done. Kola Mohammed tells us more.
A resident in Chini looked helplessly at the dilapidated state of her once large home, the latest victim of the encroaching sea on Bagni, located on Senegal's western Atlantic coast. Cracked and collapsed walls, damaged roofs, and sunken buildings are commonplace in the town, just outside the capital Dakar, in one of the areas most threatened by rising sea levels in the West African country. Creeping coastal erosion is of great concern to the locals, who fear their homes will soon disappear if nothing is done to stop the tide. Senegal's Environment Ministry says the country loses 0.5 to 2 meters of coastline every year. This, it said, has to do with rising sea levels, surface water runoff, and extraction from beaches and coastal construction. The latest episode of flooding in mid-August saw part of 67-year-old Lechine's seafront home, despite the tires and sandbags erected to block the waves. The destruction had prompted 6 of her 10 children to leave home, with a few habitable rooms left in her house covered by dampness. The boundary wall also fell prey to the sea, with the courtyard where the family gathered to eat now exposed to neighbors. Her house is one of around 30 houses to have been damaged in the area, leaving several families without roofs over their heads. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has long warned of rising sea levels linked to global warming, with populations living along Africa's coastlines particularly at risk. The UN body says climate change will mean more frequent severe flooding, increased coastal erosion, and extreme weather events, which could occur every year as against once in a century in the past. In Bagni, which is home to over 70,000 people, residents say the coastline had receded by around 60 meters since the early 1980s, with the problem worsening in recent years. Pointing out to the sea, she said there used to be a cemetery here, mosques and playgrounds. Now everything has been swallowed up. Residents now hope the new government elected in March will find an enduring solution to the problem. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
And factional rifts are on the verge of collapsing the main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, less than 24 hours after the Senator Adolphus Wabara-led Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party met in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports that suspension and counter-suspension have been the order of the day in the leadership of the party.
First, the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, arising from its 593rd meeting on Thursday, October 10, 2024, has directed the National Publicity Secretary Debo Olugunagba and National Legal Advisor Kamaldeen Adeyemi Ajibade SAN to step aside respectively. Chinwe Unorom, the National Director of Publicity of the PDP, on behalf of the National Working Committee, in a statement said, as a result, the NWC has constituted a committee to be chaired by the Deputy National Chairman South, Ambassador Tofik Arakbaja, to investigate the issues raised against the officers in compliance with the provisions of the constitution of the party. Following the NWC's decision, he directed their respective deputies to assume office in acting capacity with effect from Friday, October 11, 2024, pending the conclusion of investigation by the committee. The officers are Ibrahim Abdullahi Manga, Acting National Publicity Secretary, and Okechukwu Osoha, Acting National Legal Advisor. And in another twist, a parallel National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has extensively considered the series of complaints raised against the acting National Chairman, Ambassador Ilia Damagum, and National Secretary, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, particularly with regard to the letter addressed by them to the Court of Appeal against the party's position in the case involving the 27 former members of the Rivers State House of Assembly who vacated their seats upon defecting from the PDP to the All Progressives Congress, APC. National Publicity Secretary of the party, Debo Olugunagba, in a statement issued in Abuja, said the NWC condemned what he described as anti-party activity of the acting national chairman and the national secretary, which is in gross violation of the provisions of the PDP constitution as amended in 2017 and their oath of office. Therefore, the NWC has suspended Ambassador Ilia Damagum and Senator Samuel Anyanwu as acting national chairman and national secretary of the party, respectively, and referred them to the National Disciplinary Committee for further action. In the meantime, the two officials are suspended from all meetings, activities, and programs of the NWC pending the conclusion of investigation by the National Disciplinary Committee. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has restrained the National Executive Committee and Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party from removing Umar Ilia Damagum as the acting national chairman of the party. The presiding judge, Peter Lifu, gave the restraining order against PDP NEC, BOT and others while delivering judgment in a suit instituted against them by Senator Umar El Gashmeina. The court also ordered that no other person must be recognized as PDP national chairman other than Damagum until the National Convention of the party scheduled for December next year. The court held that in line with Articles 4, 42, 47 and 67 of PDP, it is only at the National Convention of the party that national officers can be elected. Justice Lifu posited that PDP members are bound by the constitution of the party and as such must always act in line with the provisions and obedience to the party's law. Now, Ministry of Housing and Urban Development has flagged off the Performance Management System Day in Abuja. This is in line with the directive from the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, mandating every Thursday to be set aside for activities relating to the performance management system in federal ministries, departments and agencies. Francis Udojo has a report.
The PMS Day ceremony marks a critical milestone in the ongoing efforts of government's MDAs to implement the deliverables of Performance Management System PMS to enhance performance, productivity and accountability. This, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Housing, Marcus Ogumbi, and the Director of Planning, Research and Statistics, Mr. Mohammed Bala Saulawa, said is being taken into cognizance as the ministry marks the PMS Week, which offers an opportunity for them to come together to share knowledge and reaffirm their commitment to delivering exceptional results.
We must be very serious and be committed to ensuring that this PMS succeed.
I would like to call on the PMS team, particularly the departmental champions, to embrace the cultural change by learning the whole process and approaches of the PMS for effective implementation of the PMS in their respective departments.
The performance management system, the DOE added, is a tool for goal and target setting, appraisal and monitoring of employee performance, and the delivery of institutional mandates. They encouraged staff of the ministry to see the initiative as an opportunity to showcase their talents, sharpen their skills, and play active roles in the development of the ministry and the nation at large. Participants were taken through an overview of performance management system. In Abuja, Francis Udojo, NTA News.
And now let's take a quick look at the weather prospects for Saturday in Nigeria and other major cities around the globe. Weather forecast ends the news on NTA International. My name is Frama Hanyi and my sign language interpreter is Precious Ozomena.